Hey everyone, welcome back to the Errant Venture. My name is Steve. Today we're going to talk about Crosshair from Clone Force 99. I too have seen the pictures, the leaks, and everything like that, saying or suggesting that Crosshair is going to be leaving the Bad Batch, leaving Clone Force 99, and joining with Tarkin and the Empire, potentially in hunting down the Bad Batch. We don't know, not enough information has come out yet, but I'm going to give a list of reasons why I do not think Crosshair is actually going to be leaving Clone Force 99. Crosshair is a sniper for Clone Force 99, and in doing that, it involves a lot of trust. Your team is always going to know that you have their back, and at the same time, being a sniper usually by yourself, you need to know that if you get into trouble, your team is going to be able to rescue you. You need to be dependable, and that's what he is. He's dependable to his team, and his team is dependable to him. And they've shown this in Season 7 of the Clone Wars. And the team's been around for a while, even before that. They're always on missions, and they're always together. It's just the group of them. It's always the original 4. Then you add Echo, and you can imagine they keep going with Echo all the way up until the Bad Batch series starts. So he's loyal to the group, and the group is loyal to him. Not only that, he likes to have fun. By saying that, I'm not saying he's running around being reckless, but you can see in his competitions with Wrecker to try to see who can do the biggest feats of destruction, droid destruction. You can see that he has a personality. And having a personality is typically not something you see in the Empire, especially one that's being led by Tarkin. Tarkin is a no-nonsense guy. This is what he wants. This is how he wants it. And that doesn't really go with what Clone Force 99 is all about. So Crosshair would have to learn how to do things in a completely different way, in a new way, and follow orders. But not only that, let's get back to the loyalty aspect and knowing how dependable the people around you are. These would not be clones. These would be Imperial stormtroopers. For those who don't know, a lot of the clones end up getting phased out, and they start bringing in recruits, non-clone recruits, to join the Empire as stormtroopers. These troopers are not as well trained, and for anyone who's seen stormtroopers in any of the other series, they are not clones. Most of their shots go wide, and they are not as dependable as what the clone troopers were. The clone troopers were made, sadly, bred for battle. They were trained from a young age, where the stormtroopers would be coming in, whether they were brought in as kids, as you see in Rebels, or the original ones are probably being brought in as adults or late teens, kind of like the real military. They have not gone through the same degree of training that the clone troopers have. So he would be leaving the skill set, leaving the skills, and the great team that he has to go with a team that is not as well trained, that has no loyalty to him, and would not be quite as good as what he currently has. They're also not as reliable. You even see in A New Hope when one just smacks his head on a door going up. Granted, it was a blooper, but there's a lot of different things that you see in Star Wars that just show that the reason why stormtroopers usually will win is because they overwhelm. It's not because of the quality of their army. Think of the clones. The clones are always outnumbered by the Separatist droids. Almost always. And they still came through in a great deal of battles. Typically when you see the stormtroopers out there, they have 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, or more odds. So they should be winning. So, as mentioned, he likes to do side tasks. Crosshair in his competition with Wrecker to see who can make the most destruction with the droids, to show off his skills, that would not be tolerated in Tarkin's military. In the Empire, that would just not be tolerated, and he would have to essentially stop doing that, and that's one of the parts of him. Now, we don't know a lot about Crosshair, only what we've seen in Season 7 of the Clone Wars, but we do know he has a personality, and like most snipers, it is the personality of someone who's by themselves, someone who is loyal, but someone who knows how to get the job done, but at the same time is buddy-buddy with his team. So he also likes to be the best. That's what his competition shows. And he likes to be the best, he likes to be with the best, and the Stormtroopers are definitely not the best. Tarkin's going to call for an entire change in the military for the Stormtroopers and the new program set going forward. And this is going to be very opposite to how Crosshair is portrayed in Season 7. Once again, we don't see that much of him, but will he be able to conform to how Tarkin wants things run? When we see Tarkin at the Citadel, you can tell right off the bat, he's not a big fan of the clones, he's not a big fan of the Jedi. He has a set in his mind, and that's what he wants to do. And everything you see Tarkin in, whether it's A New Hope, whether it's Rogue One, he's in it for himself, and he wants efficiency, and he wants it done straight line. And that's not how the Bad Batch operate. They like to do things their own way, and that's what has gotten them results throughout their time as a team. But now it is possible that Crosshair does join them. You know, it's possible that he's lured into joining the Empire either with a promotion. Hey, you're going to get your own team. You're not going to be with these guys. You're going to get your own team. We want to put the best of our new recruits with you and have you train them. And now he's the guy. He's the main guy. He's what Hunter is. He's what Rex is. He has his own squadron. And maybe that's alluring to him that, hey, you can train these people how you want. They're clean slates. And that might get to him, as well as the Empire's going to have a lot of money, a lot of resources, a lot of the ability to give him everything. That means the best equipment, the best ships. And since he's going to be fighting for the biggest military out there, because the Republic was not the biggest one, the Separatists were, but since he's going to be fighting for the biggest military, which is now policing most of the galaxy, he's going to have the ability to work for a very big employer, and that can come with its own perks. So he might be told, hey, these Stormtroopers are going to be good, these Stormtroopers are going to be people who you're going to rely on, train yourself, make your own unit, and be very successful doing what we, the Empire, want you to do. Now here's my opinion at the end of all this. I expect that if he does join the Empire, I don't think it's going to be a long-term thing. He might join the Empire. He might not know who his targets are. He might not know that the Bad Batch are still running around out there. He might join as a good soldier coming from the Republic into the Empire, and then once realize what he's hunting, what he's doing, and what they want him to do, he might say, hey, not what I signed up for. Or it might be where he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's going to get to a point where he has the Bad Batch in front of him, and they're talking as he has his finger on the trigger, and they convince him, hey, we're your friends, we're your family, we're clones, we're brothers. The Stormtroopers are not your brothers, Tarkin is not your father, that is not your family, we are your family. I do expect that if he does join the Empire, he is eventually going to turn his back on the Empire and go back to the Bad Batch. He's got too much loyalty. His dedication is to that group even more than the Republic, in my opinion. Even more than any other thing. His dedication is to that group. And even though it might falter, causing him to join the Empire, I expect it to come through at the end and him to rejoin the Bad Batch. And that's if the rumors are true. It might be something where, hey, he starts into a training program. They all might start in with a training program and then all of a sudden say, hey, this isn't for us. They might all have those special black Imperial uniforms, and after learning more about the Stormtrooper program, the team as a whole might say, hey, we want out, we want not to do this, and are then hunted down by the Empire, in which case they all had that armor, and Crosshairs might just be the only one that has leaked. It's a leak, it's not everything. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll see you guys on the next episode on the Errant Venture.